The President has committed the whole of our government to advancing racial justice and equity for all Americans. He will also sign an executive order directing the Department of Justice not to renew any contracts with private prisons. Private prisons profiteer off of federal prisoners and are proven to be, or found to be by the Department of Justice Inspector General, to be less safe for correctional officers and for prisoners.
Can you speak specifically to what this does as it relates to immigration and immigrants? Does this cover particularly the prisons and private prisons housing immigrants, undocumented immigrants, tens of thousands of whom are facing deportation in privately run prisons right now?
This order today applies to the Department of Justice run prisons. It is not, in this instance, applicable to those run by other agencies.
So not ICE, not anything like that.
The President will sign a memorandum directing the Department of Housing and Urban Development to mitigate racial bias in housing and affirmatively advance our nation's fair housing laws.
The suburb destruction will end with us.
He restored the integrity of the census so that our constitutionally mandated accounting of every person in the United States is fair and inclusive. The President will also sign an executive order reinvigorating the commitment of all federal agencies to engage in regular, robust, and meaningful consultation with tribal governments. And the President will sign a memorandum directing all federal agencies to take steps to combat xenophobia and acts of violence against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders who have been targeted by political leaders in our nation's response to COVID-19.
These measures here are executive actions, which of course could be overturned and reversed by a future president. Can you talk about what steps could be taken to codify these, to make them permanent, whether it's private prisons or other measures, so they could not be undone by a future president?
Yeah, well, Jonathan, as you know, to codify something and make it lasting in law requires that Congress, both houses of Congress pass it and that the President sign it. And for this, as well as many other things, there will be areas where legislative actions are the best and most durable approach. There'll be some instances where, in advance of legislation or efforts to achieve legislation, it's wise to take executive action. So I don't think we should assume that by doing something by executive action, and where it may also be appropriate to seek legislation, that we wouldn't do it.